Now, the government's artificial intelligence advisory applies to large platforms. That's the word coming in from the Union Minister of State for IT, Rajeev Chandrasekhar, or so it seems. Now, this comes just days after the government issued an advisory asking all AI companies to get approval before launching any product in India. Ashmit is standing by now with specifics of the advisory, the government's response and what the implications are. Ashmit.
Well, it was late on Friday night that the Ministry of Electronics and IT introduced an advisory, and under this advisory, they introduced a condition that for any large language model, AI model, generative AI model that is currently being tested, they will have to seek the permission of the government, the nod of the government before it is deployed for the public. Not just that, the advisory also said that there should not be any bias or discrimination and that there should not be any tinkering with the electoral process courtesy these AI tools. Third, the advisory also said that there should be a pop-up mechanism that should update the user that the results being generated by this model may not be entirely accurate or reliable. Now, this sparked a whole host of concerns. This was likened to the license Raj. Many have asked the question that if at every stage of development, if permissions are to be sought, if information is to be shared with the government, if a nod is to be sought from the Ministry of Electronics and IT, that will completely scuttle the startup and the innovation ecosystem. Now, responding to these concerns, the Minister of State for Electronics and IT, Rajeev Chandrasekhar, has said by way of a tweet where he said that, number one, this is not for the startup innovation ecosystem, this is only for large companies. Number two, he said this is only for AI models which are currently at the development stage and not for those which are already implemented. And number three, he said that they should act rather as an insurance policy for the companies to be cautious in their development and to not be sued by the customers at a later date. However, there are still many questions that need answering. Number one, is this advisory by the Ministry of Electronics and IT binding on the players concerned? Number one. Number two is, what is the legal backing of this advisory? Is it coming by way of the IT Act or the IT rules? The third key question that is being asked is, where is the exception carved out for the startup and the innovation ecosystem as a part of the letter of the law, which is the advisory? The content of the advisory does not specify a specific carve out for the startup and the innovation ecosystem. So a number of questions that still need answering.
Ashmit, many thanks. Yes, clarifications coming in thick and fast, but many questions remain unanswered. Now, Delhi